Over here, you got it. Let's see. Phone's on mute. All right. Go ahead. Boom. Some more. Right. Just stays up. So I guess do the next. Please station to the bottom position, bro. So G3 takes the chalice. G3 takes the chalice. So like I said, I gotta blow one more time. Uh-huh. La Yashala. Madium, which means to stand. Wapanya Hakwadam means turn to face the east, or say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew.
The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa,
Shabbat
Shemayah, Quadash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakufka, Daba'a, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamaya, Thundernawa, Nakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawaknawa, Kabawaknawa, Wala'a, Nabiya'anawa, Banasayawan, Abal, Hawashai Mayan, Rai, Hayah, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Watapara, Aman.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Hakak, the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua,
Baba Kushah,
the Thundernawa,
Hakak,
Lavaba'a, Kalmakhala, Wakal Manawa, Latahar, Latazarayim, Hakak, Lahakwya, Hamathya, Al-Rakhawa, Hatama'ala, Lagarashun, Ba'ashim Yahushua, the Wada Aman, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. All manner of disease. The power to cleanse the leper. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Like Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Ayanya. Al-Haharya.
Ma'ayan. Yaba'a. Isaiah. Ma'ayin. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemaya. Wa'arataza. Al-Yathan. Lamawat. Regalka. Al-Yanawam. Shamarka. Hana. La'a. Yanawam. Wala'a. Yashun. Shawamor. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamorka, Makaurai, Yashamor, Napashka, Yahweh, Yashamor, Tazahka, Wabawaaka, Maita, Wai, Awalam,
Aman. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From which cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
he
that keepeth Israel.
He that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade.
Yahweh is thy shade.
Upon thy right hand.
Upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
From all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in.
And thy coming in.
From this time forth.
And
even forevermore.
So be it. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim. Al damayalaka. Al dakharash. Wa al tashakwat. Al kayahana. Awayabyaka. Yahama yawan. Wama shanayaka. Nasha'awa. Ra'ash. Al aimaka. Ya irayamwa. Sawad. Wayatayai tazawa. Al tazapawanyaka. Amorwa. Lakawa, Wanakakida, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Aiwad, Kaya, Nawa'ai Tazawa, Lab, Yakadwa, Audaka, Barya, Yakarafwa, Ahoya, Adawa, Wayashma'alia, Mawa'aba, Wahagoya, Gabal, Wa'aimawad, Wa'aimalak, Halashak, I'm the Shabya. Hazawar, Gam Ashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zabawai, Labanya Lawat, Salah, Aisha Laham, Kamadyan, Kasayas Sara'a, Kayabyan, Banakal, Kwayashwan, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayanda Ara, Hayawa, Daman, La Adama, Shayatamwa, Narayabwa, Ka'irab, Wakaza'aba, Wakazabak, Wakazalmanai, Haul, Nasayakamwa, Ashor, Amorwa, Nayavasha, Lanawa, Na'awa, Alahayam, Shayatamwa, Kagalgala, Kakwash, Lapanya Raka, Ka'ash, Daba Ira Yaira, Wakalahaba, Salahat, Horyam, Khan, the Redakma, Basairaka, Wabasawapatka, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Walawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, like Waya Bahalwa, Waya Kaporwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya da Iowa, Kaya, Afa, Shamka, Yahawa, the Barka, Al Yawan, Al Aratazah,
Aman. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee, have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel. Against thy people. And consulted. Against thy hidden ones. They have said. Come. And let us cut them off. From being a nation. That the name of Israel. May be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together. With one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab. And the Hagarene. Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them. As unto the Midianites.
Midianites.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kison.
At the brook of Kison.
Which perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
And like Zael.
Like Zael.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes.
All their princes.
As Zabah.
As Zabah.
And as Zalmunna.
And as Zalmunna.
Who said. Let us take to ourselves.
Let us take to ourselves.
The houses of Yahweh in possession.
The house of Yahweh in possession.
Oh my power.
Oh my power.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the wood.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
As the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
And troubled forever.
And troubled forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That men may know.
That thou.
Whose
name alone.
Whose name alone.
Is Yahweh.
Is Yahweh.
Art the most high.
Art the most high.
Over all the earth.
Over all the earth.
So be it.
So be it. The blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shah.
Wa Yahweh Shah.
Wa Maya Ka'ala.
Wa Maya Ka'ala.
Wa Ayahaya.
Wa Alahaya.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Alawap Yahana.
Alawap Yahana.
Ha Alawap Yah.
Ha Alawap Yah.
Ha Saranya.
Ha Saranya.
Ha Kudazayanya.
Ha Kudazayanya.
Ha Khayayawya.
Ha Khayayawya.
Wa Ha Awaf Yah.
Wa Ha Akwaf
Yah. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah.
Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah.
The Wada Aman.
Wada Aman. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yahana.
Commanding General Yahana.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Sar, which means to turn. Yeshabian, which means to be seated. All right. Son of Christ, I'm here now. Sabbath service. All right. That's right. The Sabbath service. You tune in live. The ISUPK. You understand? The biblical Sabbath service. This is our culture, our heritage. You understand? As a nation of people. All right. Those prayers are so very important. And that's Psalms, the 83rd chapter, but they don't teach you about the book of Psalms. King David understood that in order to secure our nation, we had to realize that we had enemies. When it say they are confederate against thee, they are confederate against thee, they consulted against our hidden ones. That murderer in Buffalo, he consulted. He took crafty counsel. You understand? They seen him. They talked to him. He came and spotted the place out like a good soldier before an invasion. And he looked and scoped everything out. That's what that Psalms, the 83rd chapter is talking about. The only solution to deal with problems like that is the Lord wipe them out. This is not something that you can pray, you can sing about, that you can have unity meetings about or do candlelight vigils. You understand? Like, we have a nation of people, many nations of people that are hunting us. If you are Black, Hispanic, or Native American, you have not been taught in your life that you and your children, your mom, your grandma, he killed a bunch of old ladies in that grocery store in Buffalo, New York. An act of terrorism. You understand? An act of terrorism that was done. But because your leaders, your religious leaders in those mosques where you serve the God of the Arabs, and in those churches where you serve the God of our oppressor, and in all of your various religions, and that Rastafarianism where you serve the God of the East Indians who oppress the brothers and sisters in the West Indian Islands and in South America with the power that they received from the British. They are confederate against us, just like the Africans that sold us to the Europeans and the Arabs that took us back and built those slave ships. They are all joined together against us. The Moabites, the Chinese, that's why they have carryouts. You understand? That's why they set up businesses in your ghetto, in your neighborhood. The investment properties in America are old Black communities of the grandmothers, of the mothers whose families have failed, the communities that went to hell because our leaders failed to teach us never to join another people like Martin Luther King told us to do. That's why we say these prayers in that Psalms, the 83rd chapter. You Christian preachers and your leaders put our people's lives in grave jeopardy. And today we're going to cover a story about following the wrong leaders. That situation in Buffalo happened just like that situation in South Carolina where Dylan Roof shot up that church. These things keep happening because our people have chosen to follow the leaders
except the ones that God actually set up. The only leader that the Lord appointed over blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to make sure that you're not going missing off of reservations, that we're not in shelters, that we don't lose our communities and our homes, that our sons are not in the streets killing each other and our daughters are not aborting our babies. The only leader that God appointed, that God deals with, that God gave the power, wisdom, and instruction to set up and take care of all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, wherever you are on the planet. If your father is one of these 12 tribes, Commanding General Yohana is the only leader that God appointed to be in charge of our people. And every time you vote for a leader, you go to a church, you choose your own way of life, your own religion, you forfeit the protection of God that comes with obeying the leader that he appointed. It may not seem like it's important, 20, 30, 40 years being in the church and being in the mosque, until one day the evil that hunts us, like 1 Peter 5:8 says, your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, seeketh who he can devour. Until that roaring lion shows up, that's the most subtle beast of the field, until it's time for him to pounce on you. Then he kills a bunch of 70-year-old women in the grocery store, man. Like, these things are avoidable. That's why we're going into this Numbers, the 16th chapter. All camps are ordered. Come back home. The original school has always been the ISUPK. There is no multiple bodies. There are no multiple heads. There are no different beliefs. There's one truth. Just like it says in Ephesians, the 4th chapter, come back to the original school. All camps are ordered to come back to the original school. The ISUPK is that original school. We keep telling brothers and sisters this for your life, for your safety, for your family, for your children. If you are serious about serving the God of this Bible, come back to the original school. You understand? World War III is right around the corner, which is when everyone is going to find out. Sadly, hopefully it's not at some grocery store, at a movie theater, or at a daycare, or at a concert, that God was not with you the entire time. Don't wait. That's why we covered this story in Numbers, the 16th chapter, which is where we're going to get started. All right? So we got Numbers, we at 16 and 1.
Kind of concept.
All right. You want to take the Hebrew or what?
Kind of concept.
Start off the first 7? Okay.
I just need the
Okay.
bar you got. Kind of concept. It just scrolls up.
Yeah. This is the Hebrew.
Kind of concept.
All right.
Numbers chapter 16, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Wayakwat Korath, ban yas Salakia. Ban Yatatahar, ban Kwahath, ban lawyer, what Dathan, ban Salakia, what Abba Yaram, Banya Alahaya, Salakia, Ala Yaab, Awan, ban Palath, Banya, what our Salakia, what our ban. Verse 2. Okay, see how it gets highlighted. Kind of concept. Verse 2. Yakwama Lapanya Masha wa Anash wa Anashim Bana Maban Mabanya Yasha'ala. The mash one. The Mashium. Chamashium. Wama Ath. Wama Afyum. Nasha'aya. Aida. It's like an Aida, Koraiya, Ma'aid, Anash Yasham. Verse 3. It's like it, Yakwahalwa, Aol, Masha, Ma'ail, it's like it, Wa'aol, Aharan, Waya Amorwa, Alaham, Rab Lakam, Kaya, Kaol, Ma'aid, it's like it, Ha'aida, Kalam. Like Kalam, Quadashium, Wabba Ayakam, like Wabaf, it's like a Wabawafkam, Yahweh, Wama'aid, it's like a Wamadai, Thatana Ashwa, Owl, Quahal, Yahweh.
Verse 4. Waya Shemai Masha Waya Paul Iol Punyawa. Verse 5. Waya Dabar Al Korath Wa Al Kaul Aidath Wa La Amor Bakwar Waya I. It's like a Waya Dai Yahawa Af Ashar Kaya. It's like a Kawa Wa'af Kwadawash. It's like you whether Korabya, whether Korar, it's like you Hakorayab, Al Yawa, Wa'ath Ashar, Bakhar, Ban, Yakorayab, Al Yawa. Verse 6. Zaf, it's like you Zav Aishawa, Kwakwa Lakam. Makathwant. It's like Makathwath. Korak. Wakal. Aidathwa. Verse 7. Wathanwa Bahan. Bahan Asha. Washayama, like what Shayamwa. It's like what Washayamwa. Al Yaha. Quatara. Lapanya Yahawa Makar. Wahaya, Ashayash, Ashor, Bakhar, Yahawa, Hawa'a, Hakodawash, Rab Lakam, Banya, Lawaya. That's the first 7 verses. Lawyer. All right. So now we're going to go up there and start what we got going on. We're going to read from Numbers chapter 16 and verse 1. Now Korah, the son of Isar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, the sons of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men. So all of these brothers, they took men, and they rose up before Moses. They coming up against Moses. They rose up before Moses, so they came before Moses. Everybody should know that Moses is who is in charge. You understand? You cannot understand the Bible. You cannot understand being in the truth if you don't understand the fact that one person is in charge and that they are commanded per Numbers, Deuteronomy 18 and 18, 18 and 15, Exodus 4 and 20. You understand? In 21, God deals with one person, one man. And in everything else, he gives those orders and instructions for the men under that one man to follow those instructions. And that is how the Lord is on your side. As a matter of fact, we're going to get to that a little bit later on. Verse 2, and they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel. They took their own. They had their cohorts. They had their people of the children of Israel, people who they thought would back them. This is a political move. You understand? They're trying to play politics. A lot of black people wrapped up into politics. Blacks and Hispanics believe in voting and voting for your leaders and politics and running for mayor and city council. None of that has your best interests on the agenda. Because our people don't obey the Most High, you're poor. You need money to buy a politician. You believe in integration. So any wealth you do get, you split it with another race of people. Their people set up businesses and buy your homes once your communities and families fail, because their people don't share their wealth with other races of people. That's why the Chinese set up businesses and they don't hire you. The Koreans and Arabs and Africans set up businesses and they hire their people and not you. Then they buy your house after your businesses and economy fails. That's why the Lord gave these instructions in the Bible, and that's why you're not allowed to choose your own leader. You're not smart enough to choose your own leader. Our people aren't smart enough to choose who should be in charge. That's why Black and Hispanic women keep bringing their children to church, despite the fact everyone is getting touched and fondled by the goddamn preacher. Yet and still, every Sunday, Big Mama and Tia and Abuela and Sister Tammy pile kids up in that church, despite the fact knowing all the millions of dollars in child molestation and abuse and sex trafficking cases that are against churches all over the world. You keep going there every Sunday because you shouldn't be choosing your leader. You don't have the option to choose your leader. That doesn't come from God. If you believe you can choose your own leader besides who God set up, you are a Christian, you are sinning, and the Lord is not with you. All right? So they rose up against Moses with certain of the children of Israel. meaning they knew who to go to and they knew who not to try this with. 250 princes of the assembly. They got power, they got say, they got rank, they known for things. And in their mind, that means that they believe they are equal to Moses. Just like fake Israelites believe that you are equal and your works are equal to what you see that you try to copy in the ISUPK. There is no equality in the Bible. That's how you get yourselves killed. That's how you put your family and your wife and children in harm's way, which is what this story is about. You understand? Famous in the congregation. Everybody knows them. They know their name. They done seen them here and there. They recognizable. They got a face card. Men of renown. Everybody knows them. They famous. They got wealth and status, popularity. When people see them, they're going to be swayed to listen to them. They're going to listen to Jay-Z. They're going to listen to Beyonce and Rihanna. They're going to listen to Oprah. Who else is a famous nigga everybody like? They were listening to Kevin Samuels. You understand? And the Lord stepped in there. You understand? To Tyler Perry. They're going to listen to Tyler Perry. They're going to listen to Steve Harvey. They're going to listen to Creflo and T.D. Jakes and who else? The big head Negroes love them. The NAACP. Jesse Jackson still alive. And Al Sharpton still alive. I don't know how, but Al Sharpton's still alive. And, they're going to listen to that damn Jada Pinkett. They're going to listen to her. And Gabrielle Union, you understand? They're going to listen to her. Well, they knew who to go and take up. In verse 3, and they gathered themselves together against Moses. Their purpose for that gathering, even though you may not understand the spirit of what you are doing. In your mind and your ignorance, you may not understand that by you choosing to do your own thing with your own leader, and support your own way and your own beliefs about the Bible, whether you call yourself a Christian, a Muslim, or whatever, an Israelite, if you are not following who the Lord set up, you are with the men that have gathered themselves together against Moses. That's why Christ said, he who gathereth not with me scattereth abroad. That's why he told that to the disciples, just further scattering the nation, so that when the Lord steps up and wipes you out, now the brothers and sisters who thought they were serving Christ, following you, now that the Lord has wiped you out, you leave them destitute without a head, and now they just scatter to the wind, which is what the Nation of Islam did to black people, which is what Elijah Muhammad did, which is what happened after the death of Malcolm, which is what happened after the death of Martin Luther King. That's why we all in politics and everywhere else looking for an identity, because you are not, these people that we have chosen are not who God set up. We tried the Back to Africa thing. We tried that with Dr. Malachi York, the Africa Bambaataa. Then we tried the integration. Then we tried selling dope. Then we tried being gangsters. None of that works. You can't choose your own leader. That is you coming up against who the Lord set up. And that is what you are being taught to do, whether you understand it or not, in your groups. You understand? You can't make your own leader and follow them and still serve the Lord. You're against serving the Lord if you don't follow who the Lord appointed. That's what this story is about. All right? And it said unto them, ye take too much upon you. They said, you doing too much. You understand? Moses that brought the curses, Uraj. Moses that split the Red Sea. It got frogs and locusts and plagues and destroyed and wiped Egypt out. You wasn't going face to face talking to Pharaoh. You wasn't going back and forth in and out of the court, battling back and forth, getting the right to speak on the streets all the years while they trying to get the Israelites off the streets. You wasn't going back and forth. You wasn't writing them letters, sitting in them courtrooms, going to intern AI, reporting all the police misconduct against the camps on the street. But now you come later on trying to say, you take too much upon you, Moses. Moses, you ain't the only one with the truth. This is what they saying, and this is what you all say to the ISUPK, and what you say indeed is recorded in the Bible. You understand? Seeing all the congregation are holy. Is what they said, Uriah? We all serve God. Praise Jesus. That's what they said. Hallelujah. We all sanctified. Said all the congregation are holy. Every one of them. You understand? We all the same. You a brother like I'm a brother. Nobody greater than anybody else. You taking too much upon you, Moses. You understand? And the Lord is among them. See, God is with us all. The Lord is with everybody. We don't have to follow you, Moses. We can all serve God our own way. We don't have to all agree on the same breakdowns. I could believe this way and you could believe that way. We don't believe that a man can have more than one wife, Moses. You're not the only one. God is with us too. That's what they told Moses. You don't have to have generals and captains. And then later on down the line, what do you see, Yaraj? They start naming themselves captains. Start naming themselves officers, because the ISUPK has captains and officers. But unlike what you don't realize is the ISUPK is doing what is actually recorded in the Bible. That's why the more you study what's in the Bible, you will see that what Commander Journey Johanna has taught brothers to do is right, and what you are doing is wrong. You understand? It says, then lift up ye yourselves above the congregation of the Lord. Meaning in their mind, this was not the Lord that lifted Moses up. This was Moses lifting himself up. Like they didn't recognize how the Lord actually operates. In their mind, they figured, well, that's just y'all putting yourselves up. You doing this. God didn't say this. We all holy. We all Israelites. God loves us all, just like a Christian would say. They say God loves everybody. God loves all the boys and girls and children of the world equally. We all God's children. All lives matter. Do you understand? And then he said in verse 4, and when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face. A real man of God heard you talking like that, and he fell upon his place, meaning he pleaded with the Lord, because he was who the Lord was actually with, and he understood that the Lord would kill them for what they were doing. They were not connected to the Most High, but in their mind, the demon taught them that they were equal to Moses. You understand? As a matter, you understand? Verse 5, and he spake unto Korah and unto all his company. Company, meaning he got a whole bunch of people. Company is a military term. These wasn't no 5 or 6. This wasn't no, little group of people, Urash. He had a company of men. They came to do an uprising against Moses, who was, for all intents and purposes, the head of the nation of Israel. And they came to storm the capital to uprise against Moses. He had a company. This wasn't 5 or 10 people. How many people did it say it was, Yarash?
300. It was like 100.
It said 250 princes of the assembly. These wasn't just regular cats. These was people with charge and power. They got mayors and governors, all kind of powerful men together, figuring that in their mind, their status meant that this mattered to the Lord. That they was more than Moses, and Moses needed to just get in his place and stop trying to tell them what to do. Like, that's how they feel. This is one of the most important stories in the entire Bible, and one of my favorites personally. You understand? In verse 5, he's telling Moses this, and he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, even tomorrow the Lord will show who are his and who is holy. The Lord going to show you who belong to him. In their mind, they thought everybody belonged to the Lord. But the actual man that God was dealing with is telling them, you're going to see tomorrow. And will cause him to come near unto him, even him who he have chosen will he cause to come near unto him. Verse 6, do. Take you censers, Korah and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before the Lord, before the Most High tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom the Lord doth choose, he shall be holy. Ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi. Moses had to fire back. Like, who the hell do you think you are? You figure I chose myself for this job? Moses didn't want to go and talk to Pharaoh. You understand? He didn't want to go do that. Moses lived in Pharaoh's palace. You was dying and suffering in the ghetto. Moses was straight. He just had enough brotherhood and love for his people that he knew he was not an Egyptian. Right. So he decided, let me go and take a look and see what's going on with my brothers. And he got down there in the land of Goshen, and he saw that their life was nothing but burdens. Nothing but burdens. Right. You understand? They couldn't get a 3-day weekend to serve the Lord after building entire cities for Pharaoh. Couldn't get a 3-day weekend. That was it. Right. They just want to go to serve the Lord for the weekend, and we'll be back on Monday, Pharaoh. Can we get a 3-day weekend? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday morning, we'll be back at work making brick without straw. Pharaoh said, hell no. You understand? As a matter of fact, we're going to get that real quick just to understand. Take me to that Exodus 4 and 20. Exodus 4 and 20, where the Lord had to let you know how things actually work. Because a lot of people still to this day have that Christian concept that God talks to everybody individually in their own personal minds. And because you sing a song to God, you understand, whether you have fringes on your t-shirt or a choir robe, you figure that if you sing a song to God, that means that God is with you, because you get high off the music just like a Christian does, which is why the Lord said, don't sing him any damn songs. You understand?
Sir.
You see that instead of a mouth, this should be 4:15. You see that?
So like I said, let me double check.
You shall be thy spokesman unto the people.
Kind of a concept. I believe it starts at 15. And thou shalt speak unto him, put words in his mouth.
Right. Give me 14, 15. Third. It should be 14 and 15.
Kind of a concept.
Let me hear that.
Kind of a concept. Exodus chapter 4 verse 14. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses and said, is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? I know that he can speak well.
Moses had a problem. Moses had a speech impediment. He may have had a stutter or whatever. It doesn't specify, but Moses' tongue, you understand, Moses was not confident in his ability to speak. The Lord has given Moses instructions to go to Pharaoh. This is why it's even crazy that anyone would think in their mind that they was equal to Moses when they had to follow Moses out of Egypt. They walked through a sea on dry ground, not muddy ground,
right?
Not clay, on dry ground in a sea. And the people who chased them died in the water that was on both sides of them. You understand? And they still, the demon that was on them still made them believe that the Lord was with them and that Moses appointed himself. Keep going.
I know that he can speak well.
I know he can talk better than you. You go ahead.
And also, behold, he coming forth to meet thee.
Your brother coming to meet you. I'm going to send you here, but I know that your brother talks better than you. And for your sake, I will allow you to use this brother's voice, because his voice is better than yours in your mind. Keep going.
And when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart.
He going to be glad to see his brother. He know you his brother. He going to be glad. You understand? This is when we were still in Egypt. The Lord didn't tell us to nobody. The Lord told this to Moses. Moses alone. You only know because the Lord told Moses. The Lord didn't tell you and everybody else. The Lord told Moses. Moses told everybody else. Keep going.
Verse 15. And thou shalt speak unto him.
And you, the Lord is talking to Moses. The Lord is going to speak unto Moses. But Moses is going to speak to Aaron. Keep going.
And put words in his mouth.
Meaning you are going to tell him what to say. Keep going.
And I will be with thy mouth.
I'm going to be with your mouth, because I'm going to tell you what to say. And you are going to tell him what to say. And he is supposed to repeat what I tell you to tell him. He don't say what he wants, what he think. His own breakdown, his personal belief, what agrees with him in his spirit, what he thinks. He don't say that. He says what you tell him to say. Keep going.
And with his mouth.
Because he repeats what I tell you, then I will be with him also. Not because he wants to serve me, but don't think that he has to follow you. He serves me by following you. Keep going.
And will teach you what ye shall do.
He didn't say, I'm going to teach him and you. He said, I'm going to teach you what to do. The Lord teach Moses. The Lord didn't teach Aaron a damn thing. The Lord didn't teach nobody else anything. The Lord taught Moses. Moses taught Aaron. And everybody else got their instructions from Moses. Everyone who said what Moses said, the Lord was with. Everyone who obeyed Moses, the Lord was with. So if you don't obey Moses, the Lord was not with you. It's not confusing. Christians make the Bible confusing because the Lord is not with them. Keep going. Verse 16. It's like it. Verse 15, the end of 15. And will teach you what ye shall do.
I'm going to teach you what you shall do. Keep going.
Verse 16. And he shall be thy spokesman unto the people.
But unto the people, they're going to see him. But when they see him, they're going to see the power that sent him, which is the Most High, because the Lord is dealing with Moses. Moses gave orders to Aaron. Aaron is going to say the Lord's instructions by repeating what Moses told him to say. That has always been how it was in the Bible. That's why the books of the Bible are named after the men that the Lord told what to say. That's why Samuel has books. Joshua has books. Ezra, there's a books. Nehemiah has books. Hosea has books. That's why the Lord dealt with that man, and that man gave instructions. You understand? In the first 4 books of the New Testament, those 4 scribes, those disciples are writing what Christ did. They're writing it down. Then Paul is writing letters. Then Peter is writing letters. You understand? It's not confusing unless you are a Christian and you don't understand the chain of command in the Bible. You understand? And that's what you don't understand if you're not an ISUPK, because you have done what they did in Numbers, the 16th chapter. Keep going.
And he shall be, even he shall be to thee instead of a mouth.
Instead of your mouth, he's going to be your mouth. So that everywhere, everyone that repeats what you said, that I taught you to say, the Lord is going to be speaking. Because I'm going to be with their mouth as long as they repeat what you told them to say, because I'm going to tell you what to say. The Lord instructed Moses. Moses instructed men under him. And everyone that repeat what the Lord told Moses, the Lord would be with them. Keep going.
And thou shalt be to him instead of God.
And what?
Instead of God.
They're going to have God talking to them directly. What?
Instead of God.
God talks to us. The whole congregation is holy. What?
Instead of God.
Instead of you in your simple, silly Christian mind thinking that God is with you and whoever you decide to follow and whatever church or mosque or fake Israelite group that you chose that joins, that you feel it in your heart, you understand, you are not connected to the Most High. You're not connected to the Lord. You feel that way like they felt that way in Numbers, the 16th chapter. That's why these stories are at the beginning of the Bible. Instead of you thinking God is talking to you, the Lord speaks and deals with one man, and then everyone repeats what the Lord told him. That's how it has always been, where you can examine his works. Nobody can guess if the Lord talked to Eddie Long, but a good tree cannot bring forth corrupt fruits. That's what it says in Mark. That's what it says in Matthew, Urash. But I know that if you go to church and the church keeps producing child molesters and homosexuals and women having abortions, killing their babies off and a bunch of divorces, then I know that your fruit don't produce what God said, because God said those things were against it. You understand? Keep going.
Sir.
Is that the end of that?
Right.
All right, that's the end of that. All right. So now let's go back to Numbers, the 16th chapter. And we're going to go to Numbers 16 and verse 8. Like, these are important lessons. It doesn't seem like this matters. You understand? It doesn't seem like it's important. But the times when it's already important. You might not realize it. You understand? You might not realize how important it is. Not yet. If China is going to invade Taiwan, World War III will be in full swing. Your job, your money, your ability to get all your good, whatever you want, and get high and go to church, all that's going to get shut down. You understand? This empire is falling. America is falling. It's in damage control mode right now. There's going to be more of those things. The Lord Christ prophesied and said that these things would happen. Christ said that these things would happen, that grocery stores was going to get shot up and police stations set on fire, like when they committed the last round of murders during the COVID lockdown. The Lord prophesied that they were going to invade the Capitol. That's in the Bible. You in church not learning what's in the Bible, man. Put your pride away and get in here. Get in the ISUPK. Everybody complaining about all the murders. If you are actually connected to the Spirit of the Lord,
instead of going to church and the mosque and wherever you think you're serving God at, then you would actually have power to teach brothers and sisters to not commit murders.
Right.
You would have power to do that. But you off somewhere else, disconnected from the work and disconnected from the Most High. So I just, every week it's got to be 10 shootings.
Right.
Shootings at the candlelight visual, shootings at the high school, at the middle school, at the traffic stop, in the suburbs, in the city, everywhere. Until you decide to stop playing and serve the Most High and get in the ISUPK, you know, get you some more candles. It's sad to say. It doesn't have to be that way. All right, you ready?
Sir.
All right, you got it. Come on.
Numbers chapter 16, verse 8 in the Hebrew. Where ya amor mashah al korath mashayawa na'ah banya lawyer. It's like a ban lawyer. Verse 9. Ma'ait. It's like a hama'ait makam kaya. But it's like a habarayal alahaya yasha Allah athkam ma'aidath yasha Allah laha koraya. It's like a laha korayab athkam ahalyawa la aibad ath aibadath mashakam. It's like a mashakan yahawa wala ma'aid. It's like a wala aimad la panya ha'aida la sharathma. Verse 10. Waya karab athar. I thought it's an athra.
What Kyle? This is athar. Athka. It's like to someone.
That's okay. What the water? Waya karab athka wa'av kaul afyaka banya it's like a banya lawyer athka waba karathma gam it's like kahana. Verse 11. Lakan atha wakal aidathka ha'aid. It's like a hana'aidyum ail Yahweh it's like a waharan. It's like a waharan, Aaron. Waharan ma hawa'a kaya thalawanwaka thalayanawakwa al yawa. Verse 12. What yashalak masha lakara ladathwa wala ab yaram banya alahayab. It's like a ala yaab waya amorwa la'a na'ila. Verse 13. Mama'ait. It's like a mama'ait kaya ha'al it's like a al yathan. There we go. Al yathanwa ma'arataza yabaf khalab with the it's like a wadabash la hamayafnawa. But it's like a bamad. It's like a bamamadar. It's like a bamadabar. Kaya the shathar. It's like a the shatharar. Al yana. It's like a al yanawa. Gam hashathar. It's like a hashatharar. Verse 14. Al rataza zabath. It's like a kind zabath khalab wadabash but habaya'ath nawa baya'ath kan habaya'ath nawa wathaf it's like a what the thun lanawa na khalaf shada wa karam ma'ayanya. It's like a ha'ayanya, the water. Anashyam, hahama, thanakwa, la'a, na'ila. That's 14.
All right. All right. So now where we at is where we started 8.
Sir.
All right. Numbers chapter 16 and verse 8. All right. So the table is set. And Moses said unto Korah, Hear, I pray thee, ye sons of Levi, He's saying, I'm praying you sons of Levi. You understand? Just like we saying, I'm praying you. Y'all got to cut this out, man. Brothers, y'all got to stop this. Like, we got to realize this is a demon on you. Here, ye sons of Levi, I pray you, seem it but a small thing unto you that the power of Israel have separated you from the congregation of Israel to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of the Lord, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them. Like, man, that's not enough. Like, this is not a small thing. Y'all got a great task that's ahead of y'all. Don't seek the priesthood also. Y'all got a great help ahead of you, great job. For which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Lord. They did not realize. In their mind, they thought they were coming up against Moses. Just like in your mind, you believe you coming up against the ISUPK, or you coming up against Commander General Yohana by being in some fake Israelite group, doing your own thing, your own way, with your own breakdowns and your own leaders and your own church, with your own imams and your own way of living. You think that, everybody is equal, that you're free to make that decision, but you're not. The Lord did not give you such a freedom. You understand? Just like you don't have the freedom to abort your babies or eat pork or smoke weed or serve another God or have interracial marriages. You don't have that freedom, but you took liberties when ye ought not to. That's why that's in the New Testament. It says, for which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Lord. You are gathering against the Lord. You come up against Commander General Yohana. You understand? That's who the Lord put in charge. And what is Aaron? That ye murmur against him. Like, y'all act like Aaron ain't nobody. That you gonna conspire against Aaron. And Moses said, call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, we will not come up. They said, damn that, Moses. I don't care what you talking about. We ain't coming. You don't tell us what to do. Talking about some all camps supposed to go together. Who the hell are you? You ain't the only one with the truth. We're going to do our own thing. You understand? We over here doing our own thing with our own leaders. It seems good. It seems nice. It seems fun. But you ain't seen the Lord's response yet. You understand? Numbers 16 and 13. Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey to kill us in the wilderness, except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us? They checking Moses. They charging Moses. Well, y'all said this, and you said this, and this was supposed to happen in this in 2000, and this and that. They coming up against Moses like they got some right to speak against the prophet that the Lord set up. They did. Everybody was able to say that while they were still alive. But the Lord gonna settle the matter. And we here doing the same pleading that Moses did before the Lord settles the matter. Because you don't know the matter is settled yet. Because you don't understand the Bible. But we understand the Bible in here. That's why we are pleading with our brothers. So that when the Lord steps up and answers to let you know that he was not with you, I mean, is not going to be good, brothers. We ain't saying it for no reason.
That's right.
We go to battle and fight everybody. Moms, wives, grandmas, granddad, children, everybody to stand for the work of the Lord in this truth so that it's not compromised and changed wherever it's convenient or inconvenient because you don't want to sit in the fire and the pressure of actually having to be in the truth. That's why you make some other way that Christ talked about. Anyone who makes some other way is a thief and a robber. It has always been that way. This is the New Testament. This is what Christ was trying to explain in the New Testament, exactly the lessons that the Lord had to teach them that kept coming up against the prophets in the Old Testament. Don't die to learn the same lesson that our people have been dying trying to learn for thousands of years. Right. Generation after generation has to keep dying to learn this lesson and then come back and not learn the goddamn lesson. You understand? Verse 14. Moreover, thou hast not brought us. I just read that. We'll read 14 again. But this is what the Lord is saying. Like in their mind, they going back and forth with Moses, not realizing they going back and forth with the Lord. They don't respect the Lord's chain of command, and they don't respect Moses. In their mind, they might say they respect Moses, They might say they respect Commander General Yohana. They might say we give honor. That's why Christ said, these people draw near to me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. When Christ died, he appointed a man in charge in his stead. He didn't say you're going to go directly to me. He said, Peter, unto you, ye are the rock upon which I shall build my church, and the gates of hell shall not withstand against thee. I'm paraphrasing. He put a man on earth in charge when he left. You understand? That did not mean that Peter was Christ. That did not mean Peter was the Savior. That meant that Peter was the authority that Christ left on earth when he went back to the Father. It has always been that way. We're saying this to pray that you learn this lesson. Time is running out. You understand? The Lord not playing when he sent that death angel through. That's what y'all don't understand. The Lord is not playing. All right? Moses, in verse 15, Moses was very wroth and said unto the Lord. Moses is speaking to the Lord. They going back and forth with Moses, thinking that they equal. What they didn't realize, Yarash, is that Moses was talking to the Most High. They arguing with Moses, not realizing that they was not talking to the Most High. The Most High was not hearing nothing they were saying. The Most High talking to Moses. They over there running their mouth. Moses is talking to the Salaki, sir. Salaki. All right. Don't Salaki, sir. Bubba Kashar, don't listen to anything that they say. We will have this settled once and for all. Because the Lord said, I deal with my servant face to face. I won't speak to him in dark sayings. You don't know what the Lord is telling Moses because the Lord ain't talking to you. You out of order. You understand? Just like they out of order. And Moses was very wroth and said unto the Most High, respect not thou their offering. I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them. I ain't do nothing to these brothers. I ain't robbed them. I ain't took nothing from them. We ain't out on the streets threatening brothers. We ain't breaking in brothers' house, stealing their wives. We ain't done nothing to anybody, man. That's what Moses is saying. I ain't done nothing to them. Don't respect them at all. They got no reason to come up against me like this. You understand? 16. And Moses said unto Korah, be thou in all thy company before the Lord, thou and they and Aaron tomorrow. All right, y'all show up tomorrow. We're going to get this settled. Where you finish? You finished 17 or 16?
14, sir.
Oh, you stopped at 14?
Couple sir. I have 7 verses.
The story getting good. You say nothing, man.
So I was listening too. I wanted to get to the good part too as well. So
yeah, we're gonna try to get to the good part, man. All right, so we at 15. 15. Let me see. You make it bigger in here. 15. All right. All right, you want to take the Hebrew? I'll take it. All right. So we got in here Numbers 15. Numbers chapter 16 and verse 15. Wayachar, Lamashah, Ma'ad, Wa'imar, Al, Yahweh. You can see it up here too. You just got to click on them. We at 16 and what, 15?
Kind of concept. So like I said, did you want to read? Because I know Sabbath service, the first 14 verses.
What is it?
Kind of concept for each Sabbath service. Because remember, it's supposed to be an hour.
Oh, okay. Man, it's getting good. All right, we gonna hit it. We gonna hit it next week, but we gonna get down to the good part as well, because this is a lesson that you don't want to miss. This lesson, you know, we just gonna read through it in English, down to verse 17. We at 17. Numbers chapter 16, verse 17. And take every man his censer and put incense in them. We're just going to finish the rest of that in English. You understand? And bring ye before the Lord every man his censer, 250 censers, thou also, and Aaron, each of you his censer. Meaning they were in the service of the Lord, but they wanted more. They desired to be in charge. And you cannot choose who gets to be in charge. The Lord chooses. You understand? You don't understand that process. They can really learn about it. And they took, verse 18, and they took every man his censer and put fire in them and laid incense thereon and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them, the tabernacle of the door and of the congregation, and the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation. The Lord showed up. His power, his glory was there. His representative showed up. And the Lord spake unto Moses. Again, they still not understanding. The Lord ain't said nothing to nobody else yet. The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, because the Lord appointed Moses, and Moses got Aaron's help, and the Lord agreed. And now the Lord is speaking to Moses and Aaron, and the 250 of them don't know what's going on. But they think that they equal to Moses and Aaron. They're getting ready to learn today. Separate yourselves from among this congregation. For all you Christians that don't realize, y'all doing separation. The Lord wants separation, and here's why. You understand? That I may consume them in a moment. Y'all get away from them. The Lord said he's going to consume them all. Verse 22, and they fell upon their faces and said, O Most High, O power, the power of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with the whole congregation? These was real men of God. Moses and Aaron was not seeking to get power and prestige to be known amongst the nation. Right. They were seeking the life of these brothers. Like, please, don't let this one man mess up and you kill these 250 brothers. So lock it, sir. They're not in the truth, but please don't let all these brothers have to die behind following these men. This one man did this. Please don't let all these people have to die behind following this one man. You understand? They understood the Lord. Y'all don't understand the Lord yet. Verse 23, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Get away from their house. Get away from their tent. Get away from them. Tell everybody to get away from them. Okay. Now, if you chose to not listen to Moses, you were going to die. It's just flat out and simple. You understand? It hasn't been enough bodies for everyone to realize how important it is to follow the prophets yet. It hasn't been enough. We too used to dying and getting killed in this empire, having the prophets tell you, dying is just what Tuesday. Right. They killed my best friend. I got to go to work tomorrow. You understand? Like, that's what that is to us in this life. In verse 25, the Lord and Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram on every side, and Dathan and Abiram came out. They got away from them. They were rallied around them. This is the same way that they took a vote to crucify Christ. They had this uprising against the seat of power to try to come up against Moses. They wasn't coming up against Moses to have a democratic election. They brought a company of men and an assembly of 250 men. If this was just something that me and him had to talk about, we could have had 5-6 cats in the room. They brought a mob, an army of people to overthrow Moses. But what they didn't understand was they brought an army of people to overthrow the Most High. This is it. And Abiram on every side, and Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives and their sons and their children. That's what you don't think about. Your wives, your sons, and your children. It's all fun and games until the Lord step in. The Lord ain't dealing with one man. Your sin is not just going to harm you. Your sin going to harm your wives, your children, and everything that you have. This is what Christians don't understand. That's why we keep telling y'all you're not in the truth outside of the ISUPK. You're not in the truth. We're telling you this for your life, for your safety, of your wives, of your children, of your brothers, the ones that you say you love so dearly. We're telling you for a reason. That's why Moses and Aaron pleaded with the Lord, so that everyone don't have to die for the sins of these few. You understand? It's not going to be this way this time. It's not going to be like that this time. All right? And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own hand. If these men die, the common death of all men, I mean, if they go to sleep, they die of old age, they die any regular, normal way. They get to live out their life and they just get old and die. That's a normal way. Or if they be visited after the visitation of all men get visited, something happened, they die. Then the Lord have not sent me. If they die some old regular way, y'all know the Lord have not sent me, y'all. He's saying, he's stating his reputation. If they die regular, the Lord ain't sent me at all. I did all this on my own. But remember, when you see the words if, and but in the Bible, these are some of the most important words you ever going to see in your life. But if the Lord make a new thing in the earth, and the earth, so like if the Lord make a new thing, Yerash, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord. That's the only way they're going to understand that they're not just saying this to come against me. They're going to learn that they provoked the Lord. They coming up against the Most High, because right now you don't feel like you're coming up against the Lord. You just figure you coming up against the prophet that the Lord set up. You figure you just coming up against, doing whatever you want, and you feel it's safe because America gives you freedom of speech. They give you your rights, and you got a right to disagree and kill your baby and be a sodomite, and you got a right of freedom of worship and assembly and choosing your God. God didn't give you any of those rights. You understand? And the Lord going to settle the matter. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up and their houses, and all the men that appertained unto Korah, and all of their goods. They and all that appertained to them, their house, their cattle, their cars, their dog, their women, their children, you understand, went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them. Imagine them crying as they getting sucked into the ground, and they falling into the ground, and they screaming and crying, and the dogs and the cattle and the babies and your woman, everybody screaming and just falling into the abyss, and the earth closed back up. They don't exist. There's no trace that they ever existed. Their kids are gone, their house is gone, their wives are gone, their dog, their cattle, everything. That old Cadillac sitting out back with no tires on bricks is gone. Everything. The grass that they wouldn't cut is gone. The tricycle in the front yard is gone. The crib is gone. The bottles are gone. All of it. There's no trace they ever existed. They all went live. Everybody went crazy. Everybody running, fleeing for their life. Now they understand that they provoked the Lord and they weren't just coming up against Moses. All the children that were with all Israel that were around about them fled at the cry of them, but they said, "Lest the earth swallow us up also." That's how you learn. And there came a fire from the Lord and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. All 250 of them brothers died. The leaders died. All of them died. All of them died following these wicked men. But they thought everybody was equal.
Right.
Well, that's how the Lord teaches you that you're not equal. That's how the lesson goes. That's how it's always been. You understand? And our people have a hard time learning lessons, but that's how it's done. You understand? And that was that. Now everybody knows Moses is in charge. You can jump in that hole and ask them if they want to try for a re-election. They want to run again in another 8 years. And you want to have a Democratic vote. The Lord answered that vote. Ain't no vote. I chose Moses. They dead. Matter solved. Obey Moses. That's how it is. That's how it goes. We've been dying ever since by not obeying the prophets that the Lord set up. All right. Lord willing, we don't have to keep dying more and just obey the prophets that the Lord set up. All right. With that, I might just us up here. All right. We're just going to do the Lord's Prayer. Tell him here. All right. Okay. So let's do that. Hit the horn. Yeah, and everything. Just juice.
La Yashala.
Right. Okay.
And Madiam, which means to stand. Upon Yahakodam, he's turning face to east. We'll do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew.
The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kodash. Hayah.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Balakufka. Daba'ah. Batazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'aratazah. Kawah. Hayah. Bashemayim. The Thunder Lakam. Kaul. Yawam. Wasalak Nawa. Kabawak Nawa. Kasalak Nawa. Kabawak Nawa. Wala'ah. Tabaya'ah Nawa. Banasayawam. Abor. Hawashai Nawa. Mayan. Rai, Kaya, Laka, Mamalakwa, Waha'ala, Watapara, La Awalamyam, Aman.
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
Thy
kingdom come.
Thy will be done. In earth,
as it is in heaven. Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory.
Forever.
So be it.
Kind of 45 minutes. We can like I said, if I could actually show you now. For time's sake, I believe that's what the order is there for. Is the Lord's Prayer paper. That's a song. It's not a song to three, possibly, depending on what you say. All right, this is the next two. All right, come on, some book. You got it. Hakak, the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushai. Baba Kushah. Nathan Nawa. Hakak. Lavapa'ah. Kamachala. Mukal Marawa. Hakak. Latahar. Hadazariah. Hakak. Lahakuya. Hamathia. Hakak. Arakawa. Hatama'ala. Lagarashan. Ba'ashim Yahushai. The water among. Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha. Ayanya.
Al-Haharyam.
Ma'ayan. Yaba'ah. Aizaria. Ma'ayin. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemayim. Wa'aratazah. Al-Yatan. Lamawat. Regalka. Al-Yanawam. Shemorka. Hana. La'ah. Yakaka. It's like it. Yeah, Kaka. It's like it. Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamor, Yasha, it's like it, Shawamor, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shemorka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamah, Hashamat, La'a, Yakaka, Wayarat, Walayala, Yahweh, Yashamorka, Wakaurai, Yashamor, Afnapaska, Yahweh, Yashamor, Taza'atka, Baba Ma'ita, Wa'ai, Awalam, Aman.
I will lift up my eyes into the
hills.
From which cometh my help?
My help
cometh from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel. Shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. From this time forth. And even forevermore. So be it. Is that what you were saying?
I was just saying we could do the it's up to Psalm 21.
Saul, which means to turn. All right. Of Israel, gonna give one courtesy salute. All right, men of Israel, gonna give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Ahmad Shabbat, Ahmadim, Barak,
Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Brakatha.
Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Brakatha. Saul, which means to turn. Sisters, Ahmadim, which means to stand. Gonna give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Ahmadim Shabbat, Ahmadim, Barak.
Yahweh Shema Lathan Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Dr. Mattar, class dismissed.